Hey, guess what? It's been one of those weeks. I hit the go button. I actually had the 30-second timer going, and then I started my regular little video clip that I make, and I let it finish, and I started talking to the camera. And I was looking up, and I thought, well, I know there's people leaving comments, but I don't see any viewers. What's going on? So I was talking to the camera for like a minute before I realized I didn't hit the go live button. It's been one of those weeks. It's just been one of those weeks. So Jeff had checked in earlier about 2:36, and he said he had to go pick up his wife from his midwife, from the maternity hospital. So apparently, she works there, so he's got to pick her up. And he's made it. Jerry Towler is here, and I was making comments about Jerry must have went back and watched some of my previous videos on bumper and quarter extensions and stuff like that. And because he made comments on the videos. So apparently there's some things he has learned. And as I'm looking through the side comments, he actually says that, Barry, a lot of stuff on the 66 I've learned since Monday. You wouldn't believe it all. Well, I probably would, actually, but I don't know if you mean other than watching the videos, or if you learn some of the history of the car that maybe is new to it. Maybe that's what you imply. Sammy Lisa Smith is checking in. Hope your day's going well. Well, I thought it was for a minute there until I realized I didn't hit the go button. So, all right. So Jerry and Jeff are commenting, and Brian W. Good afternoon, Barry, and all. Welcome to the Filler Dust Garage. Jeff, Barry, don't make excuses. You're ruining my schedule. Well, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to help. That's why I have it at this time in the middle of my afternoon here in the States. I'm trying to be, helpful and give you an opportunity to get on and be part of the stream. Let me just look at that a second. Okay. And let's see, we have Landon Banana Gaming. On Tuesday, I am getting MGB. Cool. That sounds cool. Jorge is checking in. Jorge, you made a comment about making a video about editing videos. I was trying to think about that, and I'm not sure what or how I can do that, because I know there's a way that I can capture what's on my screen, and I don't know if I can do it with this StreamYard function or if I need to do something else. But I wouldn't mind doing a little helpful video about editing. But there's probably people out there with a lot more experience that are a lot better at it than I am, and I just kind of hack my way through it and get it going. But I was trying to think about that, because I know that there's ways you can see the screen, and what's going on, but I just haven't been that far. Okay, I'm thinking this is Crash Ryder, I think. Crash Ryder, hey, from South Indiana. Glad you're here. I try, Jeff. I try. Nathan, hey, I got a 79 Ford pickup 302. How do I take all that smog pump and lines? Oh, well, that's a good question. I mean, just a matter of unbolting and plugging stuff off for the most part. Smog pump is just an unboltable item. But you probably have the tubes that run to the exhaust manifolds typically, and a lot of people will they'll cut them off and crimp them over on themselves and pinch them flat so that no airflow couldn't go. Otherwise, I'm not sure if you can take off, or if it makes sense to take off the EGR or not, but I have not really messed with that much. I have taken that stuff off before, but mostly just a smog pump, and not really worried about the other pieces. We'll see, Jorge. I don't know. I mean, if I could figure out how to do it, I'm sure I see people do it all the time, where they'll post a video where it's like a live edit or live action of what they're doing on the screen, and I just I'm not that technically proficient. Technically proficient. That's today's big words. Okay, yeah, Crash Rider. Okay, Randy. Hello from Iowa. Good to have our power back on so I get out of the garage and do some work after 110 mile per hour derecho that went through last week. Derecho. Is that a new word? So I'm not sure if that's a derecho. I've never seen that word before, so maybe it's a new word. I don't know. Let's see. Jeff was talking to Jorge. He stayed in Brunswick and Southwood back in '78. Okay. Dave Moore. Hi, Barry. What's the deal with the door seals? I had doors all flush to rockers and fenders. I taped the seal on for a test, and now the door is out, quarter bottom rear. Will they eventually compress? Well, eventually. You know, people have always had problems with the seals, and there's been variety of things that people have done. Typically, they have more problem with the trunk seal, and it may depend on the brand as well. So somebody can comment in here, maybe they know a better seal or better fitting seal, but that's always been a problem. They do need to compress and kind of conform to the shape. So I've heard people taking and actually trimming back the back side of the seal, taking off some of the material, or, you know, I've heard of people doing that. I've not tried that. Typically, it's a matter of letting it stay compressed, and over time, they should compress more, but I can't guarantee it. So if somebody else has some input as to a better seal, possibly, I don't know what brand you're using, maybe they can have a better answer than I. East Ridge Racing. Hello, everyone. 9:08 p.m. here in Sweden. See, it's 9 o'clock in Sweden. That's a perfect time. There's nothing on TV. You might as well watch what's going on in the garage, right? Or at least somebody rambling about stuff. Sammy Lisa Smith, your other YouTube is cool as well. Oh, you're talking about the Joe Daddy's Workshop. Thank you for that. I'll even give you a bell. You know, it's you know, I tried when I started that channel. It was about doing other things, just whatever random stuff I could come up with. You know, so that's kind of how that evolved, and it's had some pretty good content on it. I've been trying to come up with other ideas and stuff to put on the channel, but lately I've been focusing completely on, you know, the stuff in the regular car stuff. So anyway, thank you for that though. Randy, inland hurricane, basically. All right. And Jerry says derecho means fast moving storm with very high winds. Okay. Let me just give a bell, because that's the first time I've ever heard derecho. Now, I've heard a lot of, you know, we all hear words that we've never heard of before, but that actually sounds kind of interesting. Derecho. I'll have to keep that one in mind, because I've never heard it on the news or anything, you know, Weather Channel or nothing. So Dave Conville's checking in. Glad you're here. And I think it was Dave, was it you that sent me the 70 Mustang Fastback link? I think it was. That was a pretty cool car. Nathan Rittenhouse, yes. Or thanks, sorry. Oh, yeah, okay. Dave Moore. These seals are Daniel Carpenter. Any better brand suggestions are welcome. Yep, I can't say, you know, one is better than the other specifically, but if anybody else has experience, maybe they can help out Dave with this question. Jeff, those seals you just got to be patient. Last thing you want is them relaxing too early and making wind noise, or at least, or at worst, leaking water. Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that. Randall, hi from Utah, waiting for the rear quarter panels for my 67 Cougar to be delivered this afternoon. That'll be cool. Get those in the mail. You know, I've been trying to make the third video in the Vintage Air front runner setup system, series, whatever. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Dave says, also the storm is derecho, no N. Okay. All right. Now we got to really learn what I'll take your word for it. Derecho? I like it with the N. I think it sounds better with the N. Derecho. Okay. Jerry is saying Scott Drake might be another option for Seals. Yeah. I mean, that's just usually your go-to kind of guy, but for seal options. But like Jeff was saying, it takes time for them to compress and flatten out and conform. So hopefully they smooth out for you. What I was saying though, I've been trying since, I don't know, whatever day it was. I don't know if I started on a Monday, and I've been working on it off and on, trying to get this third video done for the front runner system. And it's been kind of I don't know. It was really hard to get motivated for this particular video because I open up the box, I start looking at things and reading through the directions, and I come to realize, and I'm going to point this out in the video as well, coffee. Point this out in the video, that I'm going through the directions on this thing. And it's talking about installing the evaporator. And, you know, it's got its usual table of contents, packing list, whatever. Instructions, important wiring notice, you know, danger, don't do this, don't do that. And it quickly goes into removing existing air conditioning. So it shows pictures for the existing air conditioning setup and removing the components from the inside. And as that goes on, it talks about closing off the air intake or the cold air intake for the interior from the cowl. And that's all fine. That's all fine. Well, then I got into the templates. And I got ahead of myself, and I point this out in the video because I made a mistake. And you'll see it in the video. But I made a mistake. But I went forward, fixed it, continued on. The biggest problem I've seen so far with these instructions is it goes to the main box, and it's showing you some installation of. Well, I even back up a second. This is page 10. Page 10. And it's talking about mounting the plate to the firewall for the components to go through, right? So anyway, it's the plate installation. So from there, and let me go look at see who's on it right here. Okay, Jorge's back. We've got Mario checking in. First time here, RC guy sent me a link. Well, thank you for that. Glad you're here. And we're still trying to define derecho or derecho. Okay. First time here, spell check sucks. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going through these instructions, right? Again, page 10, putting on that plate. Page 11, install this bracket. It's going to go on the back side of the box. And then, well, that's kind of it. It says install that bracket. All right. So then it goes forward. Well, let's just say this. It says install bracket, and then it's showing it going into the car, installing it in the car, right? So you go forward a little bit more, and it shows you hooking up the thing under the dash, which is it's already in place. And it goes on to talk about, this is again through the sequence, page 13, we're going to talk about connecting various hardware to all the tubes and stuff. It's going to come through the firewall. So then it's going to the engine bay and goes on to show you connecting this, that, and the other. And I'm just flipping through these pages, right? Going through the sequence. And I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right. And again, I'm pointing this out in this video because it's irritating. I'm going to back up because this is now page 20. This is page 20. And it's showing you to connect your lines, your hard lines. It's showing you connect the hard lines, putting these bolts into these brackets that aren't attached to the box. Luckily, I've done one of these before and kind of had an idea of what was going on, but I had to backtrack because it doesn't show you putting, the tubes on until after it's under the car. It's inside the car. This is crazy because the sequence again. If I back up, page 14 and 15, it's showing it all installed, and you're connecting hoses, and then go back to this one and it's showing you putting on the lines. So anyway, pretty frustrating. And I did make a minor error, nothing serious, which really involves just drilling a hole in the wrong place in the firewall. But I'll weld that shut along with some other holes that aren't needed. So it's not like it's going to really affect much. But point being, I like to see instructions, especially like, you all know I'm an aircraft mechanic. So whenever I get instructions, they need to be sequential. They need to follow an order and be proper. These are not. These are all over the place. And very frustrating for that to be that way. Mario, well, currently building a 66 Mustang convertible from scratch. And the car is built, but I'm putting in a vintage air system I'm test fitting vintage air, test fitting the engine, transmission, radiator, all that stuff to make sure it's all going to fit the way it should. And this is part of the process. I like to make sure everything fits, everything is aligned and the way it's going to be. Take everything apart and then do all the paint work, and then everything should go back together, without issues. So yeah, Mary, that's the box that goes underneath the dash on that Mustang. Jerry, no, I'm not pulling your leg. Look up the definition. Storm gets okay. Direct. Oh wait, direct. No, now it's another. Now we got another spelling. Jerry, you're messing with me now. Yeah, Dave Moore. What are instructions? Well, let me tell you. When it comes to attaching, well, a variety of things, but this vintage air system has electronic sliders for the controls. And those have to be adapted to an original style heater control unit. So yeah, I follow those kind of directions just because I want stuff to work whenever you flip the switch. But anyway, let's see. Kim Piernicki checking in from Cornwall, England. Nice. Let's see. All right. So, I don't know what Mary is saying. All right. Let me get back up here. Where's Jeff? Jeff, Barry, you're making it a lot easier for me to choose to listen to my wife when she gets in the car in a minute. Ricard is checking in. And I want to say, Ricard, I think this is the answer, man. I think it's the answer, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. We'll talk about that more in just a second. No, Murray, it's an AC kit. Yeah, it's Jerry. Send me an email. Send me a picture and email, and then I can see if I can pull it up. Jack W checking in. Mario, we don't use instructions. Well, some of us are engineered to follow instructions. Sometimes it depends what I'm doing. Really depends what I'm doing, because even if I followed the instructions that they listed, that would be wrong. It wouldn't work. It'd be messed up. Jorge. Okay, so he's talking about where he's located. His friend has a 72 Mustang. Well, that's cool. Butch checking in. Glad you're here. Mario, no. You really need to go back. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen, I'll just tell you this. Go look up the playlist for the Brooklyn Pony and just watch every single video. And make sure you watch all the ads. You gotta check them out. You'll see. I started up with a car that was breaking in half when it arrived, and now it's a really custom car. Lots and lots of stuff done to it. Let's see. Okay, so Jerry has sent me an email. I'm going to look at this real quick. Oh, cool. So let me see if I can download that real quick and see if I can pull it up on the screen so you'll see it in the StreamYard. Just give me just 1 second. Hopefully I did that right. All right. So apparently Jerry has gotten some new wheels for his Mustang. And let's see if I can find that. What do I do with them? Well, hold on a second. I messed up. Surprise. Anyway. Where's this going? Okay, here we go. All right. We're getting closer. I want to show you this wheel that he has sent me. Almost there. Okay. All right, let's see who else is here. Okay. Mario, yep. Check out Brooklyn Pony. We have Kevin Craw. Hey, Barry, checking in. Brooklyn Pony series have saved my life. Watch repeatedly, screen capture, etc. Great series. Thanks. Thank you, Kevin. I'll give you 2 bells for that. Jorge is saying, Jack, we should meet up. Yeah, you should. You're not far away from each other. You're actually very close. Very close. Here we go. So here's the wheel on Jerry's car. One angle. I'm not sure if you just wanted me to share that or not, but I'll just show it. It looks like a nice torque thrust. I like that. Good looking wheel. Yeah, I like that. That would look really, really good against the white or the off-white of the car. So anyway, what I was wait a minute. Yep, Mario, thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. I'll take any and all thumbs up I can get. So yeah, Jack, I've heard of that place. Is that the place that has the special bagels? Pop's Bagel? I've heard of that place. I was there. I was in that area, but no, I didn't get a bagel. Sketchy Ride, what's the usual time for these streams? When you feel like it? I haven't caught one for a bit. Well, what I've been doing, and I've been really consistent. I'm saying I've been really consistent, and I have a lot of people here that can back that up. On Monday nights at 7 p.m., I'm doing a stream. And then on Thursdays at 3 in the afternoon, I do a stream. And it's primarily for people that are in Europe or overseas. trying to coordinate a time where it's convenient for them to get online and hang out a little bit, because I know people like Jeff, when he's on Monday nights, he's up well past his bedtime. He's up very late to hang out on the stream. So again, I'm trying to make it so that we can get different people going on the stream. Yeah, thank you, Mario. Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a car when it's all finished. I'll say that. Yeah, that would look great black and chrome. Let me see. I'll pull it up again. But I think once the black tires are on there, it's going to look pretty sharp. You can't go wrong with torque thrust. The only question I have is are those probably, I guess I'm assuming those are 15-inch. It'll look very large, but 15-inch, I'm guessing. So go back here to comments. All right, we have Wolfthorne Hawkridge, who had won, and Wolfthorne, you don't say what the prize was, okay? But he won one of the drawings. Which video from the Brooklyn Pony series did you fit the radiator? Couldn't find it. Well, I have to go back and look. I'm not sure. I don't know if I could pull that up while we're still kind of looking through it. It would have to. Well, I don't know. You'd probably have to search for Griffin radiator. Griffen, I believe. No, IN. Griffin. Search for Griffin radiator in the search function of my channel. That's the only Griffin radiator I've installed. So that should be in there. I'm pretty sure I've probably tagged Griffin in that video. So you can search that and tell me if that answers your question, if you found it. Mario saying keep color. Karsten checking in from Denmark. Glad you're here, Karsten. And Randall wants to know the size as well for the wheels. Mario likes the color. And then Jorge. So they're gonna have a bagel date. We can share some emails. They're gonna have a bagel date. Apparently, I didn't get a bagel when I was up there. I did not get a bagel when I was up there. Yeah, I'll connect you to Jack and Jorge. I'll get you connected. All right, Wolfthorne. That should hopefully that answers your question. If not, let me know or send me an email. We'll figure something out. White writing. I thought I said white lightning because it's spelled writing, and I know that's probably just spell check. But white writing or letters on walls of B.F. Goodrich. Oh man, that spell check is killing you, Mario. It's killing you. White letters on B.F. Goodrich tires is what he's trying to say. All right, so RJ's checking in. Dave, I'm sorry, I'll bring bagels next time you're up here. Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. I'm already hungry for that. That sounds really good. That sounds really good. Jerry, I've been working on the rear bumper. I found that the bumper angle was about 1/4 off, which was out to the front. Yep. Okay, so the wheels are 15/7 torque thrust. Good. Nothing wrong with that. Guido checking in. Glad you're here. Guido sent me an interesting video a week or so ago of where he works, and that was pretty cool. Have you ever seen a shipping, big shipping yard where they have all the big cranes and all that sort of thing? Mario is involved with that, and I'm always amazed by those machines and the massive equipment that they use to load and unload shipping containers like clockwork, and you got to think about those big machines. They've got to be maintained. You've got to keep them running, because anytime stuff like that is shut down or whatever, it costs money. So they got to keep people active and keep them going. So it was really interesting to see the video, and I appreciate that. Mason, I see you're out in the shop. How come is it when you're out in the shop you never have your garage door open? I'm out in the shop with my grandpa and we have the garage door open. Well, it's an easy answer. My air conditioning is running. I imagine if you had good air conditioning running, you'd probably want to keep the door closed. But that's, yeah. AC's running. It's about 70, I don't know, 73, 74 degrees in here. So yeah, comfy. Definitely the way to go. Anyway, I want to continue on with part of this conversation with the fitments or issues I've been having with the Vintage Air front runner system. And oh, let me stop for a second. Matt Brooks is saying, Mr. Cool, I love that video, Barry. Yep. That video was a bit of a struggle. Of course, you know, putting it up by myself for the most part. And one of those learn as you go. And you know what's funny about that, since you brought that up, that there are people who appreciate that video simply because it's one of those where I've never done that before. I don't have that experience. So whenever the pro guy makes a video and he doesn't show you some of the struggles or cuts away, you know, all that stuff, and you think, oh, look, it's pretty easy. I can do it like nothing. No, just like any other videos out there where they, you know, the cars and stuff where they, boom, look, it's all done. And we don't show you that it took 80 hours to fit the rear quarter panels, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, and I've gotten good comments on that video because it's real. It's not like I've tried to hide anything from it. All right, Mario, glad you were here. Yep. I'll be looking for you. P.S. Matt Blackhood Scoops, have a good day. All right. Well, I'm glad you were here. Check back anytime and, you know, watch the videos, get caught up. All right. So I'm going to back up before I was talking about the variety of issues that I'm having with the Vintage Air setup. One of the big issues, probably the biggest issue, is the harmonic balancer. Well, I talked to the owner who has talked to Ford Racing, and I'm going to talk about this some more in the video. And they were implying that they've seen this issue before and that you can use that balancer. But they were saying that the bolt, the ARP bolt that I have on the front, it's 6 o'clock position basically, is what's interfering, the bolt itself. And I'll point that out. I did do what they said, which was take the bolt out and see if the balancer will slide on. Along with that, the little timing markets on the side, I took the bolt out of that so that I could rotate it out of the way. And I'll tell you this, with that bolt out, I was able to get the balancer on and it overlapped the water pump about that much. And if you're just listening in, it's about 3/8 of an inch. So the balancer starts to go on, but it stops. Now they were saying at Ford Racing, take a sanding disc or, you know, grind down the head of the bolt a little bit so that you have clearance. Okay, I understand that. But I have another concern because the main body or the tube, let's say where that bolt goes in, the boss, the balancer hits that. So what I'm probably going to do, combination of things. One of them is take the water pump back off and see if I can move it up and down within the tolerance of the bolt holes. This is a very minute adjustment, if any, because you know you can take the bolt and you can usually wiggle it in the bolt holes. Well, if I can slide the pump up to the limit of those bolts and then tighten it down, then I can see if the balancer will clear. And I'm thinking it will clear just a little bit more. The second part of that is I'm really thinking about modifying the water pump itself. The water pump actually has a flattened area right there where the balancer interacts. And I'm almost thinking if I skimmed off 10 thousandths, maybe 20 thousandths, it might be just enough to where that thing doesn't, won't hit. If it doesn't hit, then we're okay. But I need to think about this a little bit. I'm not against pulling the balancer back off. I mean the water pump. That's just a gasket and sealant, not a big deal. The housing itself right now is in a fixed location. I'm not worried about it coming loose. The sealant's going to hold it in there, plus the other bolts. So that's where I'm at. I'm really thinking I might be able to make room for that balancer. Along with that, somewhere around here, where did I put it? The owner has also ordered, but the 1-inch spacer, because as I mentioned before, I measured incorrectly when I was supposed to be 4.750. I measured technically to 3.750. Supposedly, this is a 1-inch spacer that compensates for that lack of, inch. So we might be able to narrow this down pretty quick if I can get that pump back off, and again, see if I can scoot it up just a little bit and maybe take off some material. I think it might just fit. So anyway, Sammy, Lisa, it's cool in Georgia today. Yeah, it's not too bad. I was out running the weed eater earlier. And Jerry says he used to sell the controls for those loading cranes. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. Jorge's going back to work. Well, good. Somebody's got to work. That's for sure. Oh, another issue. Let's see. Yep. Sammy and Lisa, or Sammy, if you move the water pump, the jackets might be off. That's true. But here's the thing. If I pull off that water pump, I'm going to have the witness, as I call it, the witness of the impression where the gasket sat. I'll know where that gasket sat on the housing. And it may show me very clearly that, hey, there's enough room that I can move this up just a hair. And it gives you just a little bit more space. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good observation. I'll need to look at that a little further. Otherwise, if nothing else, we'll go with a smaller balancer and just drive on. So, but another issue, hang on, coffee. Another issue was the water pump outlet angles to the driver's side because it's from my understanding, because it's a reverse flow water pump. I guess, I don't know, but the outlet comes out on the driver's side, and the radiator has both the inlet and the outlet on the passenger side. That's a conflict. Probably there's another part number out there for that radiator, and obviously we don't want to go buy another radiator, because the one we have, they're not going to take it back. Why would they? And we could get a different radiator, which offset and put the outlet, the lower water neck or water outlet at the driver's side, and then a simple hose, right? Would take care of that. Well, thanks to Ricard, who sent me a nice link that showed this part number, Gates belt 23308, which was part of this hose. I'll just say that this part, let me see if I can get it angled on here right. And again, this will be in the video, but this little neck here, that's how that was attached at that slight kick up. And so I cut this off, and then I trimmed the edge of this, the end of the hose here. I trimmed it to where it would fit better on the water pump. Believe it or not, I think this remedies the water pump issue, because let's see if I can, how would that be? Well, it's kind of like that. So this comes out of the water neck. this goes into the radiator. So if I turn it around, maybe that'll make more sense. So that's a radiator. And it ends up kind of like that, I think. So this goes underneath. This is where the balancer sits. And I took pictures of it. They're on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go check that out. But Ricard, you get a bunch of bells for that. Thank you, buddy. That's I think that's going to solve that problem, and we're going to drive on from there. Art, I bet if you bought 3 different brand water pumps, you'd have 3 different clearances. Yeah, I agree with you on that. You know, that's like whenever we would, you know, build an engine, and you would port match all the runners. You know, the port match the intake to the heads, port match the exhaust manifolds or the headers to the heads, and all that sort of thing. You know, you know, the next set you got, forget it, it's not going to fit or not be the same. But yeah, so I think the you know, the concept I think is going to work, but I need to obviously take stuff apart again, clarify, modify, adapt, overcome, whatever the magic terms are, and move on. So I'm getting combination. I'm getting emails. I'm getting messages from people. So I have to kind of keep up. Anyway, so again, if you haven't looked at the pictures are on Instagram, Joe Daddy's Garage. So you can check those out if you like. And other than that, I've got a bunch of editing to do because, as I said, this video, I said it kind of in the beginning, this video just didn't flow very well. And a lot of it was those instructions were throwing me off, and just the fact that, you know, there's stuff is out of sequence and missing and whatever. But I will get a video together. I was hoping to actually have it out. I wanted to have it done yesterday, but as things have gone on, and I was waiting, hopefully, and I was waiting for this hose to show up, and it did. It showed up. I guess it was late yesterday, so that's going to be a big help to get that hose straightened out. Otherwise, that's about it. That's what I've been working on, and I was thinking if there was something else that I needed to mention. Not a whole lot. The oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, you know, it's bad enough whenever the instructions don't completely make sense, but when you're missing hardware, that's no fun. So part of this, you know, assembly or modifications or whatever you want to call it, putting that box in, it called for 2, what was it, number 14 by 3/4, basically like self-tapping bolts, you know, those kind of style. And they weren't in the kit. And then it called out for 3, number 10 by 1/2, I think, same kind of thing, to block off the fresh air intake on the passenger side, because the driver's side has bolts, you know, that holds a control box that would go underneath on that side. But passenger side just has holes. I mean, it just has the center hole. Doesn't have anything else around the perimeter to hold the plate. And so I was trying to get this thing in place, and nope, had to take off, run to the store, get some more hardware to make everything fit. So again, it was just kind of one of those, even in the, I don't know, I won't say 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. It was more like stumbling to the second step. Just didn't have a good flow to it. And anyway, so there'll still be a video coming on this, and I will probably do I guess maybe a 4th video based on the balancer and the water pump and trying to resolve that issue. I think that's going to be worth doing. So and the other thing, I think I mentioned it in the last live stream, is putting in the transmission cooler. The I was going to try to mount the transmission cooler to the condenser, but it doesn't make sense to do it right now. There's other issues that need to be addressed. And so that's just going to have to wait until probably closer to final assembly, because there's really nothing to be gained by putting in that cooler and just knowing that it's sitting there. Because, you know, I don't have the hoses to run to connect everything. I don't have the transmission lines. That's another thing that's going to have to happen. I need a water neck, you know, going to need the water neck to connect the upper radiator hose. Going to need that. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, this is another snafu. That's going to have to be addressed. As I was putting, again, this video is feels, I don't want to say clumsy, but it just doesn't feel good because it just didn't, things just didn't work out the way they're supposed to work, right? The, whatever this thing is, this flow control thing, I guess. This is supposed to go onto the upper tube from the heater core. And the problem is, and you'll see again in the video, the two tubes that come out of the firewall, they kind of dead end into the back of the engine block and the valve cover. Now, granted, there's about that much, I don't know, so there's space, there's some space. But the upper tube, I don't know if I have something I can reference. Well, the upper tube and the valve cover are basically in line with each other and probably have about that much space between them, okay? The problem is this is supposed to connect to that upper tube coming right out of the heater core. Not going to happen. There's just no way. In fact, I'll show you the picture because this is kind of frustrating to me. The picture, I don't know what they use to represent this, but it must, because the engine they're showing in this car has a big clunky valve cover on it, right? I don't know if you can see all that or not. Sorry if the light's too bright, but it's showing it right there coming out and going over top or above the valve cover. Woo. Out of focus now. So it's sitting above the valve cover, and so is the second hose. The second hose is doing the same thing. And I got to quit doing close-ups because it doesn't focus once I get. There we go. Okay, so I don't get it. How can they depict that to where it's showing it sitting above the valve cover for both of those? And then another thing was the two tubes coming out for the AC. Well, in the picture, they're only sticking through the firewall like that much, but the upper tube is like way out, and the lower tube is short. I don't know. It gets, like I said, it's one of those things where it gets frustrating when you realize you have to modify certain things or whatever. And then even to that point, the two tubes that come out of the heater core, because all this stuff bolts on, you attach it. The two tubes for the heater core were both bent kind of long. I had to rebend those tubes so that they would, go through the two holes. And even the ones that came from the AC side of it, I had to bend those to get them to come through as well. So just, again, just one of those things where it's like, this doesn't feel that fantastic. Oh, Sammy Lisa Smith, are you a wizard? Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like a wizard on this video. I can tell you that. This has been like a lot of stumbling blocks, and I'm still not sure that I've cleared them all. you know. But I'm just gonna have to keep on, and I may have to take. I have the box in the car, and I may have to have it in and out of the car several times and tweak the tubes to where they may or may not fit like this image. And it's just kind of, I don't know. It's weird. The drawing shows you one thing, like, I know it's hard to show you this, but there's the little plate that is on the firewall. Well, if you go back in the sequence, it'll tell you that that plate goes in on, yeah, it says it right here. Firewall cover installs from inside passenger compartment. So the picture, and in fact, the picture defines it very much, that there's the little vents of the car, and then the dash, and then here's the plate going in, and it only fits one way. So why do they show it later as being, well, right here it even shows it. Right there, it shows it on the outside of the firewall, because that's showing the plumbing coming through the firewall. I don't get it. Drawings, everything should be, I don't know, what do they call it? Proofread and fact check, maybe. I don't know. All right. Let's see. Billy the Kid checking in. Art Man, wonder if the Mustang 2 front end affected the height depth of the engine of the affecting your heater. No, because from my understanding, that's supposed to put it in the same location, because if it did that, if it raised up the engine, then it would also raise up the transmission and hit the transmission tunnel more. And there's you'd have to, I'll show you in a video whenever you see it. The distance is crazy how far down those two tubes are. But I looked at my my 68. I mean, it's the same way from the factory, but the factory doesn't have this coming out of your, connecting to that hose. And I'm just assuming I'm going to have to come up with a 90-degree elbow, attach this, and then find a way to attach this to the cowl or the firewall, and then flow through. I don't know. It's going to take some configuring to make it right, but that seems to be the norm when it comes to doing this. Moon Princess, all you need is some TLC and some vitamin P. What I'm trying to say is okay, let's not go there. Thank you for that, but let's not go there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, no. I had to delete somebody who's being silly. Let's see. Part was designed for a 6-cylinder. Yeah. Well, but if you, like I said, if I compare it to the other vehicles, it's the same kind of setup. Randall, I'm a long way from installing AC, but I know watching your vintage air series repeatedly when I do start the phase. Thanks for pioneering my insights. You're welcome. All right. Yeah, Sammy, I'm not sure. Yeah, bye. I'm not sure who that person is either. See ya. Yeah, I'm not gonna put up with clowns popping in. Have you done anything with Jade lately? Well, not really. I decided, and I mentioned this in a previous stream, that I think since I don't work on the weekends now, as a regular job, that I may try to make videos or make progress on jade on Saturday and Sunday. And to that end, I started stripping down the underside of the deck lid. So I have not made a video of any of that. I've just been, because I've done that before, but I will, get that deck lid prepped. I want to get it in epoxy and get some base primer on it, or a high build primer, so that I can progress through it. But that's where jade is at the moment. And, there's other things I need to do, but I'm going to try to do it on those Saturdays. That's my plan at this point. Here's something else I want to point out. I think it was on the Monday live stream. I commented about how I was in Facebook jail. Facebook jail. More coffee. Hold on. I posted something that was about a Russian airplane. I talked about it on Monday. And it was a plane that was built to be a boat and kind of fly, but it was only meant to fly like 10 feet off the water. Point being that the Russians built this thing, and I think they built one or two of them. I know one for sure, maybe only one, but it flew. It did what it was supposed to do. But I implied, because a friend of mine posted it on Facebook, and I commented with "crazy Russians." That wasn't negative. It was saying crazy as in, hey, that's a crazy idea, but it worked. See? And sometimes you have to think outside of that box, and you may look at the person and go, oh, that's crazy, but it works. See? Well, I posted about that. That was my comment, crazy Russians. Not offending anybody. I mean, are the Russians going to get upset? A bunch of them know they're crazy. But the point being, Facebook found it offensive because it was like hate speech or something. Well, I'd saved all the junk that the all right, I got stupid clowns showing up on the channel. But anyway, I saved all the posts from Facebook about, how I disagreed with the comment, disagreed with their assessment and all that stuff. And then I reposted that. And unfortunately, I didn't blur out my comment. I'd taken a screenshot of it where it said crazy Russians. And again, this wasn't even no longer a comment on somebody else's post. This was just a little picture of me and the comment crazy Russians. So Facebook, because they're so user friendly, and equal rights and, all that stuff and free speech, they put me in Facebook jail for 3 more days because I made the same mistake twice, I guess. Yeah. So I've had people, and it not only affects my regular Facebook, which I really don't care, but my Joe Daddy's Garage Facebook page. I could comment on messages, but I couldn't even send pictures. I had somebody asking for measurements of different things. And I took pictures and was trying to send them, and it wouldn't let me send those pictures because I was in jail, Facebook jail. Now, in the meantime, as I've said, they'll let you show people, protesting and burning down businesses and, threatening people and threatening, our government and police and whatever. And that's all cool. That's all cool. That's all good. Let that go. But if you use the word crazy, I guess maybe to any group of people, I don't know if it was just because I said crazy Russians, or if you said crazy Italians or crazy Germans or whatever, crazy Americans. Apparently they don't want that. You can't say that. You can't imply that somebody is great. The whole thing is crazy. The whole thing. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know. So if anybody's been trying to comment or anything on my Facebook page, I can't do it. My Joe Daddy's page, I can't really do much to try to help out. Leonard, those Mustangs that I told you about, they have over 35 years, 35 of them, and they had to chainsaw trees to get out 7 of them. Wow. Well, I need some pictures, Leonard. I want to see these things. I would like to see what's left of those. Art. I got a slap on the wrist for a Dumb and Dumber quote. Something about the French. I think they're getting a little sensitive over there. Well, I mean, come on. I mean, they have an agenda. We all know they have an agenda, and they're trying to soften everybody, I guess. I don't know. You better toe the line, or you can't be part of the process anymore. And it's just ridiculous. There's other people that I follow. I'm not going to go into names or anything, but there's other people that I follow who are very popular, who have a lot of followers, people that make a lot of comments, or maybe have live streams, and they've gotten kicked off of being allowed to have live streams. They've done other videos, let's say, that have had no wording in them that deal with a variety of things. So, they're known for their subject matter, but the video that they put out had nothing about whatever. It was just a kind of a generalization video. And that guy got 3 flags about the coronavirus. He got 3 different flags for spreading false information, not true, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I didn't even say those things. The words, whatever, no. They just immediately flagged him with, negative stuff because they can, right? Because there was a song years ago, and I don't remember the name of it. It was, but in the comments, it said, how was it? Or the video, or the chorus, or whatever. Who was it? What song was it? Anyway, the line was, when you own the information, you can bend it all you want. That's very true. And that is how they own the information, and they can do whatever they want with it. And that's the problem with the system. Ricard, I have to call tonight here. Good night. Good show tonight. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Ricard. Glad you were here. Art, man, they want to keep all of their ad revenue while convincing Congress they're actually doing something about content. Yeah. Well, that's one thing that I've shied away from for a variety of reasons. But it's one thing that I'm trying to make money, from making YouTube videos, trying to make a living, from doing this sort of thing. But my Facebook page, my Joe Daddy's Facebook page, has like, I don't know, 1,000 followers, 1,200 followers, whatever it is. And I don't try to post anything controversial. I may post a picture of a car that's messed up sometime, or, maybe some jokes or whatever. But a lot of times it's just pictures of the cars that I'm working on, progress that I'm making, stuff like that. And several times Facebook has said, hey, you can put ads on your page. Well, who gets the money from the ads? Is there, do I get a percentage of whatever the ad is? Probably. Does Facebook make money off of it? Sure they do. So I have no plans to do that. I'll just keep the page the way it is. And, I'll post my links and my comments and whatever. But I'm not going to generate income for them, because of that. I don't. DP. Here's a link to the Russian aircraft. Yeah, I won't let you post that link. I forget what the name was. It's some weird aircraft or whatever it was. But it's a really interesting concept. And that thing was, with the right equipment on it and the right engines and that sort of thing, it's a very efficient, cargo mover, because it's, can be as fast as a plane, but it's only like 10 or 15 or 20 feet off the water. So that, it'll never reach an altitude where it's thousands of feet in the air. So it just has to cross. I think there's a massive lake in Russia. I don't remember the name of it, but I know it's a massive lake. and so they always have to get supplies across that lake. And so that was, I think that's why they built that thing, so it could cross the lake really quick without having to get up in the air. Let's see. Sammy, Lisa Smith. People like the Smiths need your videos. I don't spell good. I will pay more attention. Okay. That's okay. I'm not gonna judge your spelling. You know, I know that the autocorrect can cause problems as well. I've seen it many times. But anyway, so I'm just I get frustrated with that whole concept of you can have your free speech, but not where I want to let you, not where they want you to have free speech, supposedly. And if you're protesting something or whatever, that's all cool. Go ahead, do your thing. But make a side comment or joke. No. We don't want to offend somebody in Russia. Why? We can't all be soft, let's say. But in fact, it was funny. I was watching. I mentioned before. I'm a child of the '70s, right? I'm 53. There's a TV channel that I watch occasionally on the I have Philo streaming service, and there's a channel on there. I don't know what it's called, but they'll show like the Jeffersons and All in the Family, Archie Bunker. They'll show Sanford and Son, those TV shows we grew up with in the '70s. And I see these comments about on Facebook, and there's like a meme out there that says, people, you think you're offended now. Could you imagine what it was like growing up, how offended you would be if you grew up in the '70s with the comedy shows that they were putting on TV? And it's very true. It's very true, because at that time, a lot of things were said that would by today's standards, oh my, you're going to have to be put away somewhere because of what you were saying. And they were saying it on TV. And, I was watching some of those shows, and I'm remembering this as a kid. And I'm like, wow, I guess I didn't realize some of the stuff they were saying, and would not have been even a second thought at that time. And it was on not just like All in the Family, but you look at the Jeffersons and Sanford and Son and the stuff that they said, and it went both ways. You know what I mean? It went both ways. You had comments that were against different people, and we all just at that time kind of laughed, because it was the time period, But now, ooh man, don't do that. Dave, guess you ticked off Boris and Natasha. Probably. Or whoever I don't know. Leonard, being from the South, we spell it like we say it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But anyway, it's just very frustrating. And I still have, I think based on their imaginary jail term, I've probably got 15 hours left or something on my sentence. So my friends are having fun with it. They're posting stuff on my timeline and making fun of the situation, which, well, whatever. Wolfthorn, we realized it, but we had thick skin in the '70s. Yes, I would agree with that. And it was, and again, it was both ways. It wasn't just, it was both ways, and variety of ways. I'll say more than one direction that comments were made, and we just kind of, okay, and nobody got really got mad. But now, oh my gosh, oh wow, today, well, we're going to get upset and burn down some businesses or something. You know what I mean? But I really don't want to get into all that. It drives me crazy. Yeah, Leonard, you're right. In fact, that now that they've made, I've read where they talked about Blazing Saddles, which was uh, made to point out how dumb the racism was. Like, if you read about how, whatever. But yeah, now they have a warning on that movie so that you may find something in here offensive. But at that time that they made that movie, it was about it was kind of like to bring to light just how dumb some of these thoughts were. And anyway, yeah, there'd be people, and there's other stuff going on. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and it's a shame that things are happening the way they are. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, let me get back on track. Oh, okay, we got Boondocker checking in. Hey guys, don't know how long you're going today. You just got in. I might go a little while yet. I think was it you, Boondocker, who brought up the idea or the problem with the me saying hex head bolts? I think it was you. Because if it is, you'll be mentioned in the next video. You'll get a mention regardless, but I'm pretty sure it was you that brought it up. So, and nothing bad. Just just letting you know. Wolfthorn, you mean Blazing Saddles wasn't an advertisement for beans? No, I don't think it was. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, I don't have anybody else want to jump on the stream. Oh no, Boondocker. I mean, you make a valid point, but as I pointed out before, it's terms you grew up with, or like, and I mentioned it. The what is it? I can't even say it now. Socket head cap screws, right? Or socket head cap bolts, I think. I never learned that term growing up. It was just an Allen head bolt. To me, that makes more sense. It's just a lot simpler. You need an Allen wrench to take off the Allen head bolt, but I get it. There's terms that we use and things that we say that need to be done the right way or said the right way. So you get an honorable mention. This is cool. I'm surprised. I mean, I've got 46. Usually the Thursday stream doesn't seem to have as many, but I've got 46 people watching, so I might just keep going for a while, and especially if we have some, if anybody has any comments or questions. Leonard, thumbs up. Thank you, Leonard. Appreciate that. Boondocker, no matter what you said in the video, we're still friends. Well, thank you for that. That's good, because I think I lost somebody a while ago from some of the comments I made in a video. He was frequent on here, and he hasn't shown up in quite some time. Hey, Paul, glad you're here. Yeah, Alan had also. Okay, the flying fruit bats. Hey, mate, I'm from New Zealand. Own a 68 Fastback. Love your videos. Been an inspiration. Love working on cars in these crazy times. I'm 50. Well, that's awesome. I'll give you 2 bells for that. I don't think I've seen flying fruit bats here before. So glad you're here. Yeah, it was, if you remember, I did that video a while ago, earlier this year, a couple months ago, whatever it was, on a 65 Impala. And I talked about the door seals and having to order from 2 different companies, and one company was charging twice what the other company was charging. And I made a point of bringing that up. Like I said, hey, look, if you need to order this stuff, I'm just letting you know, company A is charging $20. Company B is charging double, whatever that was. So if you need to, order from company A and wait it out. And that way, you'll get your part without having to spend double money at company B. Well, the one guy, John, who had been active on the live streams, he got upset with that. So I think he just, I don't know if he quit following me or whatever, but he got upset with that. And he's like, that's not fair. This company is trying to make money, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, that's true. But the thing is, you have to be competitive. If you price yourself out of the market, then you're not competitive with the market. So just because somebody has something in stock doesn't mean they should be able to gouge you for that if you can wait for the other part to come in from the other company whenever they get caught up on their back orders and stuff like that. So I was just making a very, broad comment, because everybody wants to, invest in their project, but if you can save money doing it, why would you not, want to know that information and pursue that? So anyway, I don't know, but Jeff, I'll have some comments soon. I'm still cooking dinner for the midwife missus. Well, what are you cooking, Jeff? Do you have enough for the whole class? Because you're gonna have to share. You're gonna have to share. Like, where's Robert? Robert has sent me pictures in the past. See, he sent me pictures like this, and that's just unfair. Robert Adams. I don't know where Robert's at. He must be working on his Mustang. But anyway. Oh, let me just interject. I talked before on Monday night about new T-shirts that are going to be on Teespring, or they're on Teespring, right? I want to show you this because Grease Rookie Garage, Andrew, he helped me with this design, and this design is now available on Teespring. I have ordered some of these shirts myself. They're probably going to be here in a week or so. Once they show up, they'll be on the channel. I'll start wearing them. But look, there is the shirt. That is an American flag, a depiction of a car that could be a Mustang, and then my Joe Daddy's Garage logo, or wording built into it. So that is now available on Teespring, and I got these down. I put the price down. I think these shirts are like $19.99. I did not want to, you can set the price whatever you want, and they suggest like $26 and something, and I said no, I want to get this down to where people can, buy them. So that's the shirt again, and that's on Teespring. But also, I thought this was gonna look pretty cool. I had some mugs that are on Teespring, and that's basically the same kind of logo, but with a flag in a vertical position. And that is correct. Where the stars are on the left as you look at it, that's how they would be depicted in any kind of display like that. So I'm really excited about these designs here, and I'm looking forward. We're going to come up with some other things. He's going to help me, come up with some other designs, and so that's going to be coming. But I really wanted to get those out and let people know that those T-shirts are now available. So, Boondocker, I know who you're talking about, and I hope it's not the case. Well, I think it is the case because he hasn't been around. So, and then that's okay. If somebody finds it offensive, I'd almost rather they not be, because they could be dragging down the rest of the community, and I don't want that. So, sorry he's not here. I enjoyed having conversations with him, but I guess he just was took it personal, I guess. Thomas Jackson, Barry, been a while. How's the spray on insulation holding up on the roof? Jesse asking, I'm considering doing the same. It's fantastic. Honestly, I haven't had, it's only been a couple years, I guess, but I've had no issues with it. Let me see if I can angle this up. Yep. So far, no issues, and I hope it stays that way. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. But yeah, I've been very happy with it. Crash Writer, there's a big difference in making money and being greedy. Yes, I agree with that. And that's what I'm talking about with the whole idea of competitive marketing. You know, it's I get upset whenever there's a company that says, "Hey, like there's a hurricane coming through, right? And people need water. Well, I have this water, but you're going to pay 10 times what a case of water would go for because I have it and you don't. So I'm going to take advantage of your plight so that I can make more money off you." Just like all the people that hoarded toilet paper or whatever. You know, now they found out they can't return any of that stuff to the store because the stores got into what they were doing and said, "Nah, you can just keep it. We're not going to take it back." So I applaud the stores and Amazon for that. But yeah, you got to be competitive. And I understand making money, you know, but in this case, I was talking about the seals. If this company is selling it for $20 and this one's selling it for 40, is this company just buying it from this company and then doubling the price? I can't see the justification. So, Jeff, very strictly 3 portions only, and one of them is for the Missy's lunch tomorrow. Oh, well, that's not cool. You couldn't even tell me what it was, so I could dream about it. Is it steak? I haven't had a steak in a while. I could go for a really good steak. DP already ordered one. Thank you for that. I think they're good. They're cool shirts. Sammy Lisa Smith Berry, you should cook on the other show. Actually, you're talking about my other channel? I know I've done one. I actually did a video on making my version of McDonald's Egg McMuffins. I did. And believe it or not, I'm not a very good cook at all. I just don't know what I'm doing. But I do make something that my wife enjoys and I like to make, and it's cauliflower. And I take cauliflower and I make it in a I guess I don't know. You'd have to see it. But anyway, it's just cauliflower with pesto sauce, broken up into chunks in a bowl, and you put it in a pan and bake it for like 40 minutes, and it comes out so good, just so good. But I've thought about that. I've thought about making just random cooking videos of my lack of skill. Leonard, that's why I get my parts from Autocrafters. Well, I'll give you a bell for that. I'm not bought from them, but I should. M1M, hey Barry, is there a way to attach a pic of my finished car on the chat? There is not, but if you send it to my email at the bottom of the screen, or if anybody wants to get in on the chat, I will send you a link if you want to. Send me an email, and we can put you on the live stream. So if you want to send me a picture of your car right now to that email at the bottom of the screen, then I can download it and get it up on the screen. So that's the only way to work. It won't let you post anything otherwise. Let's see. Marshall, love the stance of the car on your design. Looks low slung with wide tires. That's the look I'm going for. I'll have to get a shirt or mug. Well, thank you, Marshall. Thank you. Dave, can I throw a little idea to you? Put your emblem logo on the front, left chest, pocket area, and the bigger artwork on the back. By the way, I already ordered my shirt. Thank you, Dave. You know, I was thinking about that. I may have to experiment and see if I can do a combination of the two. For now, I want to see how this goes, and then of course working with Andrew and trying to get other ideas going together going forward. So I'm looking forward to what he and I, or what probably more he comes up with, because I'm not very artistic when it comes to stuff like that. Art Man, I've been working on a jig to put together the bottom of a car, and I know you have been toying with the idea based on a very straight car you have. Yes, I have been, and I still am. And until I get finished up with the pony, I'm not going to be able to even consider doing that. But yeah, I am considering building some sort of a jig system. Randall, BLT with homegrown tomatoes for my late lunch. I'll go with that. Now, Randall, you have to try, I don't know what kind of bread you've been using, but recently I've gotten into potato bread. If you haven't tried it, I'm sure you have. Potato bread. I like it. But Wolfthorn, Hawkridge, lunchtime, yes. Barry Dream on, it's roast chicken, brown rice, and stir-fried chopped celery. Okay. I can go with the roast chicken, brown rice, and I'm probably just stir-fried chopped celery. That sounds good. Boondocker, roasted cauliflowers like dessert. Yes. Well, actually, I can eat the whole thing and just make a meal out of that by itself. It's that good. But the pesto sauce is what makes it. So, Artman, I think if I were to start over, I'd make it adjustable so I could use it on a non-perfect car. Ribs and ribeyes, if you ever make it to Minnesota. I guess that's Minnesota, right? I would do ribs and ribeyes. Yeah. But I'm with you on the adjustability. But the thing is, when you say a non-perfect car, the idea for me is to make the jig for a correct car, and then make the other car, or the next car, fit that car. If that makes sense. Let's see if I can. Well, hold on a second. I have to download this picture. See if I can't save it. Okay. That's a cool looking car. I'll have to download that onto the clips, or the whoops. Here we go. Okay, that's coming. But yeah, I would like to make the jig so that the car that's wrong, you adjust it to the jig and make it right. That's my thought process. Leonard, getting ready to grill steaks. How do you like yours? Medium. Medium sounds really good. Paul, hey Bear, do you know much about Mustang front disc brakes? Well, that's a good question. What do you consider much? And you're talking about the generation Mustang we have, because I put on the disc brake conversion kit on Jade. So maybe, let's see, Paul is saying, calipers have a locating pin that goes into a rubber insulator. Do you know if they get greased? I don't grease them. If it's the ones that I'm thinking about, like the F-150 trucks, where it had that compressible. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Typically, I don't grease any of the locating pins, but maybe I'm thinking of a different one. But I know I've done the old F-150 trucks where it has the square little pin that you drive in. It has a rubber bushing inside that keeps it in place. I don't grease that either. But Leonard, still waiting for your drive-up window for your breakfast muffins. Yeah, they're good. Those little breakfast muffins on the other channel, really good. Kudula Barry, you host a virtual car show and Facebook event. Would be fun to see everyone's cars projects. That's an idea. I don't know how I would do that though. I guess I'd have to research that a little bit to see if that's a possibility. Yeah, I don't know how that. I guess once you do the live, if you do a live on Facebook, you can pull people into the live stream, I think. But I've not tried that. So let me pull up M1M. He's saying substitute steak with portobello mushroom. Yeah, that'll work in a pinch. I'm going to pull up your Mustang. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I like the fact that it's not like crazily overdone. You know, the wheels, the hubcaps, white letter tires. It's got the little chin spoiler on it. And from the picture, I'm assuming. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'm assuming, yeah, the angle kind of throws me off there, but it is a fastback. The shadow of the way the light hits the back makes it a little bit off. But yeah, that's a good looking car. I like it. I like it. Let me pull that off for a second. Okay. Back to the comments. Flying fruit bats. That brake video on Jade inspired me to refit mine. There you go. Paul, we can't find anything in the shop manual. What year car? I mean, are you talking about? Because you don't have. What year Mustang are you talking about, Paul? Fruit bats found out they were Granada brakes. Oh, yeah. Well, that was a big time conversion people did, taking the Granada brakes, because at the time that was like all that was available and they would fit. So they would just do that. Just take the Granada brakes and transfer them over. But like the Jade thing, I liked it because they were based on the same original design. And you know, you could put everything on in the kit. Art man, I'm just thinking if they're up to 1/4 inch off from one another part to part, some may be acceptable, but not fit on a perfect fixed jig. Oh, I get you, Art. Yeah, you're right about that, because you know, even the factory stuff was not very well put together. But I get your point on that, and that's justifiable to make it to where you could adjust it for that purpose. I guess in my thoughts are more along the lines of, if I had a car with rotted out rear frame rails or whatever, front frame rails, that I could just pull one out and set one in place and know that it was in the right place. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. That's a good point. M1, my Mach 1 my Mach 1 I just sent had an MST ignition and Holly car, basically original, but I painted it Lincoln green metallic. I like that. Okay, so 69 single piston. You know, that's a good question, Paul. I don't know for sure. Maybe somebody else has an answer for that. Talking about a locating pin that goes in a rubber insulator. I don't know for sure. I can't say for sure whether it gets greased or not. M1, great idea. No car shows in my town this summer. So the virtual car show is an idea. Cooter, you open the event for a specific time and people post to the event and you let them in. Everyone votes with likes. The Mustang 6 Association had one in June. Was a fun Saturday activity. Huh. Well, that sounds interesting. I guess I would have to do it on my Joe Daddy's Facebook page. And okay, so schedule a specific time. Okay, well, that may be a possibility. I'll have to consider that. Oh man. Okay, so now we've got another. Is that your car, Flying Fruit Bats? Is that your car? Seriously? That's pretty cool. If it is, Flying Fruit Bats, let me know. Is that if that's your car? We'll post it up. I saved it. Let me see if I can pull that in. Let's see. So M1 is saying it's 71 fastback, 351 Cleveland, 3-speed. Interesting. Interesting. Leonard, take care. See you all Monday. We'll see you, Leonard. Glad you're here. Boondocker is commenting to Paul. He says, on the brake pins, if in doubt, a small amount wouldn't hurt. I agree with that. I agree with that. So fruit, how do I say this? Flying Fruit Bats has sent me a picture. Okay, so we're gonna post this up. This is a pretty cool looking car. That's a pretty cool looking car. It says it is his car, and he worked on her a bit. That's pretty nice. Only a C code 289. That's okay. I like it. That's a nice looking car. That's a really nice looking car. Great picture. I like it. Okay. All right. So Paul is commenting, and then he's saying it sounds like a big block though. That's cool. Robert likes it. I like it. That's a good looking car. I mean, nice stance. Nice color. I like to see colors like that instead of every one of them being, red or black or green. When you go to the bullet generation of cars. So that's a nice color. Now I will say that, the Jade Mustang is going back to the Gulfstream Aqua, which is green, but it's a very pretty green. Kind of it's a bluish green. So there you go. So there's a comment. You're welcome, Flying Fruit Bats. It always kills me. I know that, my channel is Joe Daddy's Garage, and a lot of people will say Joe, whatever. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. My name is, most people know my name is Barry, but whenever I get the usernames, sometimes people like Jeff, who was formerly Jeffrey, that's his username, but he didn't like being called Jeffrey. And I said, well, you need to change your username because that's what it says. So, okay, so, whoops, Paul, I'll be going back under the car. Okay, get back in there. Robert reminds me of the one I used to have, a '67. Yeah, it's a pretty car. Ty Robert, stance like a rabid canine eyeing a cat. I like that. Sunlit gold. Yeah, that's a pretty color. That's a pretty color. All right, Jerry Tyler is going to be back on Monday. And Paul, or Dave is saying, Paul, you found stuff to sand under the car too. Yeah, I think from what I've seen, Paul has become fixated with sanding, right? Isn't that the joke? He just wants to keep on sanding that body filler and take it all off, put it back on, take it all off, put it back on. Okay. It is, wow, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. Still 42 people watching, which is pretty good. But I have a feeling I probably need to go. I know that I've got to edit the third video on the Vintage Air install, and it's going to take a little time to get that one edited up. I would like to have it out by tomorrow, so that'll be the goal. And again, I still have other things to try to modify or test fit or redesign or take a plasma cut or two. So that'll be, coming down the road. But I think I will do I'll probably do a fourth video playing more with that harmonic balancer and making sure all that stuff is going to fit. And, if it works out, then we're good to go. If not, then we'll have to come up with another balancer and resolve that problem as well. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna call it a day. M1, very nice color, very nice. He loves that color too. That's not my gold car. Boondocker, if you really don't like sanding, maybe car restoration won't be your thing. Yep, very true. We'll see you, Robert and Thomas. Okay, I want to point this out again. I've said it before, and I'll just keep on letting everybody know. If you are ordering stuff from Amazon on a regular basis or even once in a while, I try to list as many things as I can think of on Amazon. But if you are ordering stuff, by all means, help me out with this. Fill up your cart, go to the banner on my YouTube channel, and up in about that location will be a Amazon link. Click on Amazon, get your regular stuff, and then I get a little percentage of that as well. So if you would. And I want to thank again people that have become patrons. I appreciate that. That helps as well with the whole process. And I want to make sure this. I want to make sure that this retirement video thing works, and so every little bit helps. So anyway, so everybody's checking out. Good. Okay, so I want to thank you, for being here. Thank you for watching. Throw a thumbs up on the video. Leave a comment if you want, and I'll be back on Monday, and hopefully I can work out a video, make it final for part 3 in the Vintage Air Front Runner system. So glad you're all here, and if nothing else, we'll see you on Monday at 7. So take care of yourselves. See ya.